Hey everybody, I'm Rob Freeman and welcome back to Ensuring the Built Environment. This week we're answering the question, what is a money battery? Well, the concept of a money battery is very interesting. I've been reading up about it for about the past week. And what it really is a concept of a new type of energy storage that helps address the problem of large-scale renewable energy projects that have to curtail or have an oversupply problem of their renewable energy. And most people are not aware that this is really a problem, but it is. Most people are aware of the intermittent problem with renewable energy, or the unreliability of renewable energy. Obviously, you can't power what you need when the sun doesn't shine or when the wind doesn't blow, but there's also an oversupply problem. In fact, in the year 2020, apparently California, in its effort to decarbonize that state, actually left over a terawatt of energy, of renewable energy, over a terawatt of renewable energy go to waste on their grid. And that's just a massive amount of energy. Apparently it's enough to power 10 billion light bulbs, 100-watt light bulbs. So that's a massive amount of energy. And so the way to address that historically has been with energy storage, but through a regular battery, a massive battery, lithium-ion battery. But what's another concept that is this money battery. A money battery is essentially co-location of a Bitcoin mining facility at a renewable energy project that is either underutilized, meaning it has energy trapped there that it can't connect to the grid, or that is somehow fallow as a result of a local economic problem. Like there was a problem in New Zealand recently where a large aluminum smelter went out of business, and it was a massive user of energy and it went out of business, and so they were left with all this hydropower that they didn't know what to do with. And another example, this is happening in the United States, where these either aluminum smelters or other traditional fossil fuel companies are going out of business, leaving these local communities with very difficult conditions in their local economies, and they're in some cases turning to mining Bitcoin to try to revitalize their local economies and create jobs. And so the concept of a money battery is very interesting, because what it does is it takes the value that would otherwise be lost from that renewable energy that's generated from these large projects. As I mentioned, 1 terawatt was wasted in California in 2020, and it's used to mine Bitcoin, which then can be transmitted anywhere. It can be transmitted to a wallet anywhere. That's one of the interesting things about Bitcoin, is that it's geographically decentralized. It can be Bitcoin mining facilities can be located anywhere geographically, anywhere that there's an electricity source and an internet connection. That can be a wireless internet connection, wired one, doesn't really matter. But they can create value and transport that value that can be stored anywhere and then used to be reinvested in other renewable energy projects to create another incentive for these renewable energy developers to avoid the problem of oversupply or underproduction in the case that local economic conditions change. And so it's a very interesting concept. And so below the video, I'll link to some more information about the different ways that this is being done, or different proponents for this concept of a money battery to recapture value that would otherwise be lost. And when one of these articles I was reading, I thought it was very interesting, an analogy for a Bitcoin mining facility is very similar to an electric vehicle. An electric vehicle doesn't care where it gets its electricity. It can get its electricity from a coal-fired power plant, which is actually very common. EV drivers don't even realize that they're driving their vehicles based on power that was generated from a coal-fired power plant in a lot of cases. And a Bitcoin mining facility is a very similar thing. It's analogous to that. It doesn't care where it gets its energy from, so it could in theory be developed purely and run purely on renewable energy. And I think a lot of Bitcoin miners are looking to do that. Kevin O'Leary, a big public celebrity, very wealthy, successful businessman from Shark Tank, was recently changed his mind on Bitcoin. He had sort of been a critic of Bitcoin, saying it was really useless, and then he kind of came around and said, I was wrong. I think it's actually a very valuable technology and an interesting concept, but he said that the sustainability issue is really something that had to be addressed, because he thought people were going to want to know that their Bitcoins were mined with renewable energy, and that's happening. So anyway, the concept of money battery is very interesting. Hope you found this useful. If you have questions, feel free to schedule an appointment with me. I'd love to hear about your renewable energy projects. And thanks again, and have a great day.